In this constantly changing world, life and personal values can seem more than a little unstable. Just when you think you have it all figured out, then everything changes. Sometimes life can seem overwhelming. Well, the good news is you can change your life. You have within you the power to learn how to flow with the changes and smooth out the bumps of life. You can experience the joy, peace, health, and abundance you deserve. You were created to be happy and productive. That urge to grow and express yourself was put there for a reason. Learn the spiritual principles that can help you not just to survive, but thrive in this changing world. At Unity, we'd like to help you do just that.
Imagine a spiritual path that honors the universal truths in all religions, that sees we are all one. Imagine a movement that respects each person's right to choose their spiritual path. Imagine a spiritual movement that empowers and unites rather than divides. This is Unity. For more than a century, Unity has offered a positive, practical, and progressive approach to understanding and applying the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters.
Welcome to the Unity of Chicago South Beyond Walls Spiritual Community Sunday Celebration live stream. We are simultaneously live streaming on various platforms. Previous celebrations are available on YouTube at Unity OCS. Thank you for bringing your consciousness to this space.
Welcome to today's reading. We look forward to researching and bringing you readings from various past and current Unity materials and other spiritual sources. We hope that you will find upliftment as well as practical application that will enhance your life experience in a positive way. Thank you for your presence.
Today's reading is from the Unity booklet, Turn on the Light, The Timeless Wisdom of Eric Butterworth, and entitled Divine Energy in and Around Us by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. Life is consciousness. Understanding, embracing, and embodying the invisible subtle energy within us and all around us is the first step to flowing in a consciousness of abundance. You are surrounded and immersed in pure beingness, an ocean of intelligent substance ready to bring into manifestation your heart's desire. The key to flowing in abundance is to free our minds and our souls from the conditioning that prosperity is about the acquisition of things. We have erroneously believed that material success is prosperity and that it will bring us happiness. Life is not about what happens around us or to us, nor how many possessions we have. Life is the pulsating divine energy within and around us, inviting us to partake in the eternal banquet of creation and play the game of life. Material things bring us fleeting happiness. True joy, peace, and well-being arise from the center of our being. Instead of focusing on things, bring your awareness to the loving presence that you are one with and bask in the energy of creation. Living in the flow of abundance is living in the inexhaustible flow of universal energy. When we are centered in God, there is a presence that guides us and reminds us that all things are working for good. Sharing our divine gifts with an attitude of gratitude expands our good. Within us is unlimited joy, love, peace, and strength to carry us through any situation. Staying present, open, and receptive to the flow of life, we rise above clouds of despair. There is no lack of limitation when we are present to the stream of infinite life flowing through us. Our natural state is abundance. As we begin to get familiar with our divine nature and start claiming it, we expand in consciousness. When thoughts of lack and limitation arise, notice them and deny that they have any power over you. Then take a few moments to center yourself in God and remind yourself that you live and have your being in an endless ocean of abundance. Claim you are divine powers. Your very essence is sacred and one with the source of all creation. Within you are flowing infinite rivers of life, pulsating with divine ideas and gifts of spirit. God is the one and only source of our good. Notice and celebrate the flow of abundance that is present in you and around you. You have full access to infinite resources. Remain vigilant, take a deep dive within, and discover the exquisite radiance of spirit. When you expand your awareness of oneness with all of life and live from the consciousness that you are one with the universal flow, the floodgates of heaven will open for you. Nothing or no one can take away the power that resides within you. Relax, keep your mind open, and flow through life with ease and grace. You are worthy. You are one with the totality of existence. Claim your divine powers. Rejoice and celebrate the shimmering light within you. Reverend Elizabeth Longo is a coach and ministry consultant in South Florida and has an online ministry called Awake in Unity.
The hour cometh when ye shall either in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem, worship the Father. The hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipper shall worship the Father, in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Neither in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem. Unity of Chicago South, online, New Thoughts Spiritual Community, streaming live from Chicago. Offering worship, in spirit and truth, beyond walls.
Find a comfortable, quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Now sit or lie down in a relaxed position. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now allow your body to relax and your mind to settle as you inhale and exhale. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, extending deep into the earth. Feel the stability and support of the ground beneath you. With each breath, visualize drawing up nurturing energy from the earth, feeling your body with a sense of calmness and groundedness. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your awareness to the center of your chest, to your heart chakra. Visualize a warm, glowing light, radiating peace and compassion. With each breath, imagine this light growing stronger and filling your entire body with a sense of love and understanding. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now imagine this light expanding beyond your body, filling the room you're in. See it continue to grow as it envelops your home, your community, and eventually the entire world. As this light expands, it brings with it a sense of interconnectedness and understanding for all beings. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. In this expanded state of awareness, repeat the following affirmation silently or out loud. I am open to understanding. I am open to understanding. I embrace the perspective of others with compassion and empathy. I embrace the perspective of others with compassion and empathy. I seek to understand before being understood. I seek to understand before being understood. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, feel the truth of these words resonating within you and around you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly bring your awareness back to your physical body, feeling the surface you're resting on. Inhale and exhale. Now wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently stretch if needed. And when you feel ready, open your eyes, carrying with you a renewed sense of understanding, love, and connection to the world around you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now take a moment to express gratitude for this practice and for the insights gained. Remember that this sense of understanding is always within you, accessible whenever you need it. Inhale and exhale. With the next set of inhalations, gently open your eyes and come back to this place, knowing that everything you need is accessible whenever and however you need it. Namaste.
This is where we pause and ask for your support as it is important to our growth. Please use the information found to my right, or go to unityocs.org/support to provide your financial support. As a major part of the growth of this online spiritual community, we ask that you take this moment to share, follow, repost, and of course financially support our work. Your action helps in our mission to provide universal teachings beyond a traditional walled space. You are instrumental in helping this community as well as those that can benefit from the teachings. We thank you in advance for your support of Unity of Chicago South, the #1 online New Thought spiritual community, streaming live from Chicago. $Unity Chicago South. For those using Cash App. Find us at Unity of Chicago South online at givealifi.com and 1448 East 52nd Street, number 132, Chicago, Illinois 60615. To support by check.
Well, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to welcome you to Unity of Chicago South, the number one online New Thought spiritual community streaming from Chicago. And it's Sunday, right? Sunday, June 14th, if I remember correctly. And of course, I remember correctly. It is June 14th, and there's a lot going on this month of June, even though we only have, four Sundays in the month, but it's a jam-packed time for us. I'm Reverend R. Ken, and I want to thank Reverend Dr. Stephanie for today's calming meditation. Now, I mentioned that this is a lot happening in July. I said June, but July. Next Sunday, July 21st, I will be the guest speaker out at Universal Unitarian of Geneva, Illinois. And I will be there. It starts at 10 a.m. The service starts at 10. And I would invite you to join us through the convenient link that is on our website at unityocs.org. And you also find our fellowship link there. And I want to speak on that just a moment. It's similar to the Zoom, but there's a few differences. And when you click on the link, it will bring you in and you will get the service, the first part of the service, and you can watch it. And then when the talk begins, the actual sermon lesson begins, at that point, we can add you in to the, add you on the platform. We see you, but until we go live with the talk itself, then at that point we can add you. So those of you that have visited over and said, well, what's going on? I don't see myself. That happens when the talk begins. It's a feature that allows you to join the platform, and you can either participate and be seen, or as I see there are people online right now who are watching from the platform as opposed to the social media platforms like Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're watching from, we appreciate you being here. On July 28th, we stream our live or our Divine Feminine celebration, and that's where a very special energy is shared with the power of the Divine Feminine. We're also working right now to start placing portions of our service on local TV, and we'll keep you informed of that. Now, I mentioned last week, I believe, that because of the third Sunday, which is usually our virtual book club Sunday, because we are going to be visiting, that we will not have the virtual book club next week. Instead, we will bring it back in August. I believe that's August 18th. And I'd like you to know that the book, the reading, it's not even a book, it's real short, but the reading is available on the website. You can find it at Meta Media, the Meta Media tab, and you'll see August 18th and the reading for that day. And in addition to that, I want to remind you that there is an infinite source available to everyone. It's there for each who seek it, no matter their race, their gender, or their religion. Believe what you may, but you should know that the source of the universe is also the source of each of us. Therefore, the principle supporting the stars is the principle supporting and available to each of us. As I declare this statement in the first person, I declare it for all. I am open and receptive to this divine living principle. Father, Mother God, I am grateful. That is my truth. That is my declaration. And as I accept it, so it becomes. And all is well, and well indeed. Inactive enforcement of the law is like having no law. If you surface travel the streets of the various big cities in America, and it may be happening in small cities too, you have maybe probably noticed the phenomena of traffic laws regularly being violated. You know, rolling stop signs turn into pause, not stops. Cars even cut off buses. Vehicles crossing from several lanes on the right into the left lane, the left turn lane at that. Sometimes they turn and sometimes they jet out in front of the traffic and even running the red light. Wow. And then finally, it's what I call the backbiter drivers. You know, the ones following so close that it seems like they're trying to read your odometer through your rear mirror, your rear view window. This activity can make you want to holler, as a former local TV personality used to say. All these are examples of violations of human created laws. Now, while experiencing them may induce the urge to holler, they only affect the quality of your life if you allow them. What the incidents have in common is that they're happening outside of us. Our interpretation of and reaction to them create how they affect us. While non-adherence to human-created laws may or may not create a penalty for the lawbreaker, non-adherence to spiritual law can do more than solicit a moving violation from law enforcement. See, non-adherence to spiritual law can stifle the flow of our own full divine expression. But what is spiritual law? And more importantly, how does understanding and implementing the law affect our life experience? It is said that spiritual understanding transcends intellectual knowledge and is often expressed as an inner knowing or realization that translates the aligning of ideas, thoughts, and actions with higher spiritual truth. Spiritual understanding does not make comparisons in the realm of form, appearances, but instead from the realm of ideas, which emanate from the spirit within. We've all kind of experienced that, right? Out of nowhere, an idea comes. We may be reading one thing and all of a sudden we have another thought. That's an idea that comes from that spirit within. Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science, tells us that spiritual understanding is an inner awareness of the presence of God in all people and in all things. Spiritual understanding leads to a sense of inner peace, purpose, and harmony with the universe. It knows how to accomplish things. It provides answer to every experience that confronts us. It is the guidance of spirit that dwells within us. Now, while there's several books and writings on how to work with the law, one of the more popular ones in our practice is Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell. There's also a writing that I found in my research by a coach and a life coach and an author named Bob Proctor, which many of you may have heard of. Working with the law is important, but then there is what the challenge really is, and that's the challenge of embracing the law of understanding. Learning how to adhere to the law of understanding sets the stage for the implementation and activation of that law in our life experience. To adhere to the law, we must learn the law. And there are steps that will help us learn the law. Learn the law. Let's start with the acceptance of the existence of what Ernest Holmes calls spiritual identity, or the inner and ever-increasing recognition of our relationship to the spirit and our mind. It refers to the individualization center of God consciousness within us. That Christ's spirit that's not only within us, it's within every one of us. And next, after the acceptance, we should embrace the desire to connect. And we do this by opening ourselves to hear. And how do we do that? Meditation, our practice, prayer, our practice, the asking, our practice. These are steps that awaken that inner divine voice. And we should learn to what? Listen. Listen in a very special way. Listen in a way that doesn't project expectations of how it's going to turn out based on human experiences. Often we hear that still small voice, but we do not take action. We must take action on the message that we hear. We have to open ourselves to receive the results. Open ourselves to receive the results. Well, what does that mean? That sounds good, but what does that mean? Well, it's that when that still small voice leads us, guides us, points us in a direction, we take the action, we take whatever is leading us till we do that, and we're open and receptive to how it's going to turn out. Well, I can't do this because, I did this before and it was terrible, or so-and-so did it this way and it was terrible. But when we are developing this understanding of the law and desiring to allow this law to imbue our lives, to guide us, then we have to do things that we may not used to do. And then the last step, and this is so important, and it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of patience to practice, and that is repetition. What? You see, we learned earlier last month in June that if you don't get whatever it is you're trying to get, if you don't create the habit, if you don't change the way that you do things the first time, that you have to do it again and again and again. You have to do it. You have to do it over and over. That's the repetition. And when we do that, that opens the door to the inner knowing, the inner guidance that allows the easy flow of spiritual understanding to be active in our life experience. Okay, repetition. So I have to keep doing it until it becomes a habit, a positive habit. Repetition. Scripture tells us to trust the Lord with all our heart and to do not lean on our own understanding. A new thought of metaphysical interpretation is this: place your trust in universal law and cautiously accept appearances. Well, it looks like it's really bad. It looks like the world is going, it looks like those are the appearances. And I'm not saying you can never accept an appearance. It's saying being cautious about it. As I accept the appearance, do I see the divine there too? As we learn to allow more spiritual understanding to flow into expression in our own life experience, we will experience more of the sense of inner peace and purpose and harmony with the universe that it brings. We will receive those easier answers to resolve every experience that confronts us. We will become more conscious of the indwelling Father, which Scripture tells us that the Christ consciousness in Jesus declared, the Father and I are one. We will experience this as we are understanding this law of understanding, as we're working to develop this law of understanding in our lives, as we are becoming more acquainted with the law of understanding. Emily Cady writes in Lessons in Truth, understanding is a special birth, a revelation of God within the heart of each of us. And in how to let God help you. Myrtle Fillmore writes, the understanding of spiritual things is our birthright. Think about it. I'm supposed to be able to understand what the divine is teaching me, telling me, guiding me. I'm supposed to understand that. It's not beyond me. And again, Holmes reminds us that spiritual understanding is deeper than intellectual conviction. It is an inward experience of reality. Hold that thought. It is an inward experience of reality. Just think on that. An inward experience of reality. And he goes on to say that we should be aware that we are one with the great self. I am one with the Father and I are one. And what that means to us, what that means in our experience is that our experiences are merely, in the way we react to them, the way we interact with them, are merely reflections of the idea we hold in mind of that oneness. Whoa, what is that? What is that? The way I see God is the way I react. You say, well, you're trying to be God. No, the way I see God is the way I react. I see God as a woe is me, sometimes giving God. So I react as a woe is me, sometimes giving God. There are others that see God as always giving, always wanting to bless them, always wanting to lift them up. That's how they see the world. So how do you see your oneness with that divine presence? The law of understanding. And possibly the most important point in our striving to further develop our interaction with the law of spiritual understanding is made by Charles Fillmore's statement in Mysteries of Genesis. He writes, in a well-balanced mind, understanding is followed by action. Just stop it, hold the press, drop the mic. So it's not just understanding, what is the action I'm taking based on what I say I understand? What is the action I'm taking based on what I say I understand? You see, thinking is not enough. Action is required, but to enhance that action, but for the right action to take place, we can again seek the inner guidance available from that knowingness that evolves from cultivating our relationship with spiritual understanding. What did you just say to me, Ralph? Okay, so I have the idea, it came to me, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't understand how to take care of it. I don't know what direction to go. Go back to where the idea came from and ask for instructions, directions to go forward with the idea. Spiritual understanding, the law of spiritual understanding is universal and is found in some form or another in most of the major spiritual practices. Buddha emphasized living in accordance with the natural law that governs the universe. Jesus, the golden rule, and that reflects the universal law of reciprocity and the interconnection of all beings. You better take that water now, huh? Lao teaches the emphasizing of living in accordance with the natural order of the universe. Krishna in Karma Yoga teaches taking action and duty without attachment to results, talking about practicing universal law. In Romney's poetry, he often encourages the surrender to the divine and living in harmony with the natural flow of life. Are you getting? Yogananda teaches the importance of aligning one's will with the divine will and living in harmony with universal principles. All emphasize an understanding of the limitless love of the divine for all creation. All is saying that there's a way that you can connect with this all-loving creative process that you are a part of. You can do it this way, you can do it that way, but there's a way that you can connect. So if you feel lost, find a practice that helps guide you into the reality I'm saying. Wow. How you doing, Rev? Glad to see you here. I see, real tight with the camera. We're gonna take you off right now since the camera's showing the floor. Thank you for being here, appreciate you. Accept our spiritual identity, that's one. Desire, after we accept it, I desire to connect with that identity. I feel lost out here. I want to connect with that identity. And then listen. I've connected now. Now I want to hear what you have to say to me. And I'm going to listen. But I'm not going to use my past experiences to determine the next step, action. I'm not going to allow what has happened in the past to determine the action that I take going forward. Because I know I must take action on this inner message that I receive. And then finally, until it's a habit, I have to repeat it and repeat and repeat. Because that's what I want. I don't want to think about it. I want to allow it to be a habit. See, the law of spiritual understanding can be our passport into a heightened life experience. A heightened life experience. So that's saying that I'm living okay, but I can go higher with this law, implementing this law, consciously connecting with this law. See, as everything becomes more of a habit in our life experience, it becomes less stressful. And that renewing power of that limitless divine love is released to the fullness in our life experience, in our life, in our affairs, and in our world. The law of spiritual understanding. Whew. Let's just take that into consciousness as we close down here. I accept my identity. I choose to use my practice to connect with that realization of who I really am and what I really am. And then I listen. I listen. And then I take action based on the guidance I'm receiving. And when situations come up, I repeat the process till it becomes a habit. I don't even have to think about it. This is how I react. Very similar to how I react when that person cuts me off or they run through a stop sign. It becomes a habit, but it's a habit of peace and divine love, and it's a habit of expression of my divine identity. Whew. Thank you all that have joined us today on whatever platform you may be on, or may have joined us on Facebook, YouTube, our platform through our fellowship link. And until next time, I want to say this is Reverend R. Ken thanking you for bringing your consciousness to today's celebration. And from the Unity of Chicago South online New Thought Community spiritual family, I say to you, namaste.